Comrades and friends, ladies and gentlemen, fellow South Africans, on a day like this, we should not mince words. We should say it like it is. We are pained, gutted, saddened, and sorrowful. We are a nation in mourning. Isitwala Ndwese Aparangwe Ahmed Kathrada, one of our most revered national leaders, has shuffled off this mortal coil. Therefore, let me express our deepest condolences to Comrade Barbara Hogan and the Kathrada family, as well as his comrades and friends. Today is the day on which we close the eyes of Comrade Ahmed Kathrada permanently, because during his lifetime he opened ours forever and saved us from the blindness of our hearts. Along with countless men and women of a higher order of consciousness with whom he cast his lot in pursuance of deep ideals, Comrade Kathy helped unleash human possibilities. Warts and all post-apartheid South Africa is an attestation of such human possibility Comrade Kathy and his generation and those before him dared to imagine. In this subversive act of opening our eyes, he made us believe in our inherent ability to create a totally new social reality. Driven by these ideals derived from the human fellowship, his subversive cast of mind succeeded in heralding a vision for a state of being that would redefine human imagination not only on the southern tip of the continent of Africa, but on a global scale. The anti-apartheid struggle redefined the very notion of being human, challenging the idea of racial hierarchy historically steeped in the ethos of European Enlightenment. Against the excesses of European self-consciousness that defined itself normatively and the rest as the other, Comrade Kathy and a legion of his comrades refused to conform to this imposed norm and therefore canonized the historical period in which they lived. On a scale of history, this was indeed reimagining human possibilities. Comrade Kathy never doubted for a moment, even during his 26 years behind bars, that this shared historical imagination would generate a new order of being for the downtrodden masses reeling under a racist yoke. His frame of vision, which invested his being with elevated meaning, may very well have been articulated by the poet Henry van Dyke's imperishable words that, and I quote, "There is a loftier ambition than merely to stand high in the world. It is to stoop down and lift mankind a little higher," close quote. After snatching Nelson Mandela and many others of his generation before him, the unaccountable hand of mortality has struck once again, snuffing out the life of one of our own, and in the process leaving us all poorer for it. When mortality asserts itself, it does so without due regard to human emotion. Those wedded to the African metaphysics would be forgiven for attributing Comrade Kathy's departure to otherworldly conspiracy among those of his comrades who have predeceased him and for whom existence in the other dimension could not continue without him among their number. Those revolutionaries who have transitioned to the ages include Dr. Abdurrahman, Sol Plaatje, Lillian Goy, Bram Fischer, Helen Joseph, Dula Umar, Nelson Mandela, Hada Asmal, Walter Sisulu, Harold Wolpe, Oliver Reginald Tambo, Elias Motsoaledi, Arthur Goldreich, Joe Slovo, Moses Kotane, Monty Naika, Moses Mabida, Amina Kachalia, Ruth Fest, Ahmed Timol, Raymond Mhlaba, J.B. Marx, Galvin Mbeki, Yusuf Dadu, Solomon Matango, and many more others. All these revolutionaries shared a common vision with him, a vision steeped in a transcendent notion of human possibility. It may very well be that they felt incomplete without the diligence of Comrade Kathy, his contagious banter, his humility, and his ability to exude human fellowship. After 87 years of exemplary life, Comrade Kathy has succumbed to mortality, as did all these comrades before him, as will all of us when our hour strikes. And so it is that during moments like this, the fragility of the human condition whips up feelings of hate, sorrow, grief, and pain in all of us whom he leaves behind. Yet, we may choose to look at things on the brighter side. If we did, we realize that such a life as that of Comrade Kathrada is worth celebrating. A sense of fortitude would counsel to offset the pain of his mortality with the immortality of his legacy. What he and his political organization, the African National Congress, stood for has forever enriched human experience. I would say we should take comfort from the immortality of the idea that defined his social existence, the idea of freedom. While in one fell swoop, mortality has blown off his life, his vision will always remain etched in historical memory. Each day of the enjoyment of freedom for all of us is the ultimate expression of gratitude to Comrade Kathy and all those who, like him, fought to a standstill against human oppression articulated in the discourse of racialization. His legacy finds voluble expression in the centrality of the idea that his life radiated, the idea that we have the ability to create a new form of life. A new form of life anchored on unity, democracy, non-racialism, non-sexism, and justice. These principles, which Comrade Kathy lived for all his life, were not just hollow statements. They are foundational to a new form of life.